Hey guys. So, what we're going to be looking at today is DD.2. So, that is kind of a continuation of the IXL that we did last week about colons and commas. So, this one's going to be specifically about introductory elements, right? And you guys have been. You guys have been seeing this and using this in your writing for a long time. You might just not have known what they were called, right? So we're going to be looking at specifically colons and commas to introduce lists, quotations, and appositives. And so there's a lot of terms in here that you might need refreshed on. So a colon is that thing with two dots on it. Okay, and a colon is going to introduce a list that follows a standalone sentence. Okay, you do not use this punctuation to introduce a list if it is not followed by a standalone sentence. If it does not follow, follow a standalone sentence. You can use a colon to introduce a quotation that follows a standalone sentence as well. You guys are really good at this in your citations. You guys turn those things in a lot. And then we have a comma, right? And so a comma is used in what's called a non-restrictive appositive. Say that 10 times fast. And those come at the end of a sentence as well. So it says here, these appositives always follow a standalone sentence. A comma is typically used, but a colon may sometimes be a better choice in order to create emphasis or dramatic effect. Okay, so a lot of the time it's going to be a matter of taste. But one of the rules here that is for sure is, you're going to use a colon when you introduce a list or quotation, and the thing that is before that colon is a standalone sentence. So let's do a couple of these and see if we can get it right. Okay. When a Nigerian writer won the 1986 Nobel Prize for Literature, he dedicated his acceptance speech to an icon of peace and liberation, Nelson Mandela. Okay, so let's put that there. Yep. So what came before that was a complete sentence. Okay. In order to train customer service representatives, a company in New Zealand is designing a computer program that mimics angry customers. A supercomputer in Isaac Asimov's Foundation series provided inspiration for the name of the program, Radiant. So again, what comes before is a complete sentence, and then the information that is revealed comes after that complete sentence. Okay. In 1835, a New York newspaper published a series of articles claiming that life forms had been discovered on the moon: bison, goats, moose, water birds, beavers that walked on two legs, and even winged humanoids. So they're introducing a list here, and what comes before that list is a complete sentence. So it would be a colon. Some jumping spiders' eyes have filters that allow them to see bright reds and oranges, says evolutionary biologist Nate Morehouse. In principle, they can see an even broader spectrum of colors than we can. So what comes before this is not a complete sentence. So says evolutionary biologist Nate Morehouse. So because it's not a complete sentence, we have to use a comma here. In one interview, Maura Hine, a professor of classical studies, emphasized the multiculturalism of the ancient city of Palmyra. There have been few cities in the Roman Empire that provide such an abundance of evidence for cultural change and negotiation. So what comes before my quotation is a complete sentence because it has a subject and a predicate, and expresses a complete idea. So because it's a complete sentence, we have to use a colon there to introduce that quote. And let's do one more. Harriet Beecher Stowe's novel about slavery, Uncle Tom's Cabin, was so influential that when Stowe met President Lincoln in 1862, he reportedly joked, "So you are the little woman who wrote the book that started this great war." So this is a tricky one. This is a good one for the last one because it's tricky. So what comes before this is a complete sentence. So what is not a complete sentence? Harriet Beecher Stowe's novel about slavery, Uncle Tom's Cabin, was so influential that when Stowe met President Lincoln in 1862, he reportedly joked. Well, that's not a complete idea. So, because it's not a complete idea, we have to introduce that quote with a comma. It seems like it would be a complete idea because we have a person and then we have an action that's being performed, joking, right? But the idea is not complete, so we have to use a comma to introduce this quotation. All right, bonus round. At the Wake Forest Institute for Regenerative Medicine, powerful 3D printers have been used to replicate living tissue, such as skin, bone, muscle, cartilage, and organs. Okay, so this is one where, you see how it says this if needed? Well, we don't need it this time because this comma right here is introducing our list. So we're just going to turn that one right in. All right, guys. So I hope you have good luck with this one. I know it's a little difficult, but this should be a review. You should have had these concepts earlier. And if you need any help at all, please just ask, and I'll help you as best I can.